Okay, good morning to everyone. So today we'll discuss on computer organization architecture. So in this we are discussing on the module 1. So in this module 1 we have to discuss on basic structure of computers. In this computer organization architecture 18EC35 we are discussing module 1, which is based on basic structure of computers. In this, the first topic will be of computer types. Further, followed by functional units, basic operational concepts, bus structures, software, performance of the processor clock, basic performance equation. So this will be acting as a chapter 1. So in that, today's topic we discuss on basic structure of computers. So the basic structure of computers will be based on the types of computers. Let us look at the types of computers. We all are using computers in our day-to-day life. We know what is a computer is. As per the standard definition, what does the computer mean in terms of digital computer? It's a simple computer in the simplest form, which will execute the instructions faster, or which will be fast electronic calculating machine. And this machine will accept the inputs in digital form from the user, which means we are going to give the input in the digital form, and after that it is going to process it according to the sequence of instructions what is being given, and it will be stored in the internal storage. It's like we are trying to give the input in a digital form, and further those input signals what are given in the digital form are being stored, and then it's going to process the data. After processing, you get the desired outputs. It will be stored. Let us say, for example, in this computer type, so what a computer is going to do. Let us take a standard equation like y equals to a plus b. Then a and b are two different variables which we need to add. So a is a digital form and b also is in digital form. We need to add them, which means a value, let us say I given 5, b value I given it as 6. So 5 and 6, it will become 11. So that's what the input it has to process, and it has to store that output value into the computer. So this is how this computer is going to process this basic thing, which we all know that. And after that, it has to follow the sequence of instructions, which will be stored in the internal storage, which we call it as computer program. Okay, and based on this, it is going to maintain the storage in the memory, which we call it as computer memory. And according to the size of the computer and according to the cost and computational power, and based on the applications what we use, these computers can be classified in different ways. Like it can be servers, it can be supercomputers like mainframe computers, workstations, portable notebooks, personal computers, desktop computers, mini computers, and also microcomputers. Let us see now here the second point. The list of instructions is called a computer program, and the internal storage is called computer memory. So these key points. One is computer program, what is meant by a computer program, and what is meant by the computer memory. So these two are the key elements what we have to discuss here. And later we have to see the computer types. What are these computer types? These computers can be categorized into different types based on size, cost, computational power, and the uh, intent what we use it. And there are four categories of this. Four categories of this is personal computers we have, servers and enterprise systems we have supercomputers, grid computers, embedded computers. So these are the different classifications of different computers. Let us look one by one of these different categories. Let us look at the first one, personal computers. Okay, as the word itself says that personal computers, which means like which we going to use it for the personal use. Okay, they are widespread across. If you see these personal computers, every one of us we have the personal computer in home. It can be a desktop type or it can be a laptop type. Or if you see the institutions, or especially educational institutions like colleges and schools, they have the computers. And then if you see any of the employees in office, they have computers for business purpose. So all that kind are being used here. And apart from that, these computers we can also use primarily for uh, any of the primary requirement. We use this, and which will be dedicated for the individual use. Let us say I'm using this computer for my personal purpose. We can call it as a personal computer. Okay, and these personal computers will support a variety of applications, which will support a variety of applications like, say, for an instance, for creating a documentation, for CAD design and visualization and browsing internet. We have different requirements to use these computers. To make it in short, these personal computers are the most common form of desktop computers. The personal computers are the most common form of desktop computers. They are found wide use in homes, schools, and business homes. This is what we discussed. And further, if you look at these computer types, so we have a number of classifications on these personal computers as we see. The first classification is what? Desktop computers, workstation computers, portable, and notebook computers. So three types. So portable computers. So what are these portable computers? This is a compact version of personal computer, which are very compact, easy to carry, right? All that. And the laptops, which are good, say for example, portable notebook computers. They are very small, easy to carry, and they are completely portable, lightweight. So they are portable computers or notebook computers. And if you look at workstations, these workstations have a higher computational power and personal computers, which means it will have the higher computational power. Workstations will have the higher power than the normal computers. That's about the workstations. And what about desktop computers? So desktop computers are the computers which are usually found on home or office desk, which is on desk. So that's why desktop. We work the laptops keeping on the lap, so that's why laptop. Similarly, we keep that on the desk, we call it as desktop. So if you can understand this clearly, these computer types are of three different categories, which are the personal computers. If you look this one, this personal computers, what we have here is classified in three types. One is desktop type, and workstation computers, and portable. So which one is, so this workstation are completely higher configuration than these desktop computers. And whereas this portable and notebook computers, which are compact, easy to carry, and lightweighted. Okay, so these may operate directly with batteries and also with the plug and play. So both options are there, because portability when it comes in wireless, because we need to use the power through battery based. So that's why these also can operate on batteries. Why we are using batteries here? To provide the mobility. To provide the mobility, we are using the batteries. If you look at these two here, so this one is your personal computer. This can be a desktop computer, or this can be a workstation even. And this is like a notebook, or this is like a laptop, which is useful for us in carrying the data, and it will helps us in portability. This is going to provide the portability of that. Okay, so this is about your desktop computers, personal computers, and notebooks, right? And we have a second category, which is servers and enterprises. The servers and enterprises we'll just see in brief, and later we'll continue that in the next session. So to see that in brief here, we have the servers and enterprises, which are large computing that mean to shared by potentially large number of users. When we try to use for larger purpose, then we can use server. Let us say, for example, 30 people are working in a office, or 30 people are working in a laboratory. So all these 30, the data has to be controlled through server, or that also can be called as enterprise computers. So which can able to access all the data from all the computer. Like now we have a cloud based environment, which means we no need to install any of the software in our computer. If you install in the server, you can directly use it in your personal computer. That's the advantage of this. Let us say you have a software, you don't need to install that in your personal computer. You install that in a server, and you can use from there on to anywhere. So that's how this servers and enterprises are used. Okay, and these computers may host larger database. This will have a larger database, which means it should have nearly larger amount of data to be stored, and it has the capability to store the information, and also that much amount of data it has to be processed. So these can be used in Aadhaar centers, it can be used in flight booking counters, or which where we have a larger amount of data to be stored. So this been used. That's the session about. So we'll see in some other session with important concepts.